Yeah, probably. That sounds like a good idea. Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Black Forest Duel. Today we've got Axis played 2nd Panzer Grenadier. He did assure me that this wasn't a 2nd Panzer Grenadier game, so I've been bamboozled there. And he's going up against Belarus Border Service, who's playing as 4th Polish. For those of you who don't know, this guy used to be the rank 1 player. It's been a while, but he is still around. And yeah, so we'll cover the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is Axis's deck review for the game. He's playing 2nd Panzergren. He did tell me that he wouldn't be playing 2nd Panzergren, so it looks like I've been bamboozled. And honestly, the deck, is exactly the same as last time I looked at this. Look, so this was the last video. It'll be linked in the description. I spoke about it at length for many minutes, about 20 minutes, 17 minutes. And it's not changed at all. So there's really no point in just talking about the same things again. The main criticisms I made, from what I remember, are that there should be some satchel infantry in here, because if you get to a town, you need some satchel infantry. So, you know, one fewer card of Panzer Grenadier in trucks in exchange for some pioneers in foxes. And if you want an infantry unit for the town that doesn't die straight away, you can use Pioneer Carl Gustavs, even though, so their anti-infantry capacity is much worse, because the DMR is, well, okay, the DMR is like 2 machine guns, so that's like 3 machine guns, which is like 6 rifles, which means that this 6-man squad shoots with the strength of 10 men, whereas this 10-man squad shoots with the strength of 11 men. So the anti-infantry potential is actually better, it's just it's 20 points more expensive. But generally, if you're fighting in towns, having to micro 6 HP units isn't great, so I recommend getting rid of these two and putting in some Pioneers and some Pioneer Carl Gustav. That was the main criticism, and obviously it's not been followed, right? Everything else is by the by. It's all very normal. I suggest you go check out that other video. Looking at his opponent's deck, we've got Belarus Border Service, and he's playing 4th Polish. This div, yeah, I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's actually not as bad as people seem to think it is. Especially since the T-55's got buffed. Specifically, the T-55A is just ridiculously cost-effective at the moment. And so it's very, very, very effective. And so the div is good because you get loads of T-55s. What I will say is the way he's built it is very, very strange. So, for starters, CVs, right? We've got 6 CVs, so 3 wheeled, 3 tracked. Okay, and then 3 cards of supply. So 3 cards of supply typically means you want to bring the RM70, really great tool in this deck. Instead, we have 2 up-vetted 152mm howitzers, which aren't very good, really. So I would recommend down-vetting that and swapping this out for the RM70. Then in the... where was I? Yeah, so in the AA tab, we've got 6 2-vet OSAs. That can be replaced with 5 no-vet OSAs, right? Or you can, you know, swap one out or whatever. But basically, there's not enough infantry here. There just isn't. There is not enough infantry here. So this is what can go. Basically, yeah, you can get rid of that and then down-vet this. Or you can down-vet these two. Now you've still got 6. Or you can just have this at 5 and get rid of all of these. But let's, you know, keep it as 6. And then you can get another card of infantry. Now, the main advantage of this division, and 20th Polish, is that you can spam the Pycho to Z mech in BWP1s at a rate of 4 per minute. And he's not brought any of them. He's brought the SVD version, which cannot be bought at a rate of 4 per... You get 260 points, that would be 280. Whereas that would be 260, right? So then this can be at 1 vet so that they can actually fight. Yeah, so 3 cards of supply, might as well use it for something. And yeah, I don't recommend vetting this because you don't get any conquers or anything. Also, I just don't really recommend bringing this. Because you don't get any Conkers or anything, so you need a BRDM2 Conkers, really, I think is a better idea. You get 6 of those, right? And in terms of the tanks, having all the tanks super vetted is great, but then you've not got access to the coffin launcher, which is another excellent part of this division. So 4, 8, 12, 6, 12, and now 3 coffin launchers, or 2, right? Or you could even bring this one if you want. So I think that's a much better investment, and then I wouldn't have these at 2 vet, I'd have them at 1 vet. The honker goes faster the higher the veterancy is because it's special forces. I know it's ridiculous, but that's just the way it works. The transport is special forces. That's the important part. So this should be at maximum veterancy so that the honkers can go as fast as humanly possible. Zmot Zwyad, just 7-man recon, and he's brought it in the Razvedka BWP1, which doesn't have smoke. I don't really think this is very good, but if you want to do that, that's fine. You could also bring some sappers, but there's enough sappers here, really. So, yeah, I'm sorry for skipping around a bit, right? Air tab, so AT cluster. This should really be 3 per card, and between the 2 of them, this is really bad, and this is the same cost but better because of this missile. Look at that missile. Also, it's got 2 of these, and this has 4 of them. It's just very strange. So that's all good. This is all good, but I think there are sort of too many helicopters here, right? So you can save 2 AP there, and then you can get a 3rd infantry, and there you go. Now you can get more Pycho to Z-Mech, which is kind of what the div's all about. So yeah, 3 cars of Logi, 6 CVs, why not? Mortars for smoke in the armoured transport to protect from counter battery. 2 of these, RM70, plenty of tanks still, and now the coffin launcher, which is a really good part of this division. Then the honkers are now going to be faster, there's not as wired, whatever. This thing, I mean, 35 points for 4 availability, exceptional optics, whereas you can pay 40 for... I mean, it is better, isn't it? Because it's got better optics. The gun is worse, but... yeah, whatever. You want exceptional optics, you can put them with your tanks. Fine, why not? And then this thing is really good with the 4 times PKTs. For 20 points more, you get a auto cannon at 3 for 2 vet. So I actually vastly prefer this to that, right? And this is only on this div, so I think that's better. AA, so this is your anti-infantry device. It's very, very funny against infantry. And then we've still got 6 OSAs. They've just got 5% less accuracy. Helis, we got rid of 1 Kokon because we've now got Conkers in here, whereas before we had the unspeakable 1. And yeah, we spoke about the planes. So you know, lots of changes. I'm sorry I didn't like go through it in order, beep boop, but you know, you're a smart guy. I'm sure you can figure it out. And yeah, so that will cover the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about Black Forest. The blue side can be considered better because you get into Bravo before the enemy does. Then you get Foxtrot for free, and you can sort of fight for Bravo. Whereas the red side gets Charlie, you know, for free. I mean, obviously, it depends what people are doing, but usually you get preferential access to Charlie, then you try to push the enemy out of Bravo and push into Foxtrot. Now, given that 4th Polish is an infantry division, you might want to try and attack, you know, sort out Bravo, but then instead of fighting in the open against 2nd Panzergren, which is probably not going to go very well, could be better to fight in the town where your infantry is superior. You don't get autocannon IFVs, you do get superior infantry. The way he's built the division is really weird, I gotta tell you. I did point that out in the deck review, suggested some improvements. So he doesn't actually have the BWP1 spam that we've come to know and love from 4th Polish. Also, the honkers are at the wrong veterancy, so his forward deployment isn't going to be as good as you might think. So in terms of the matchup, I suppose I've basically been talking about it all this time. Basically, 2nd Panzergren's forward deployment goes at 90 kilometers an hour, whereas Poland's forward deployment goes at like significantly higher than 100 because it's special forces. He has, however, brought it on the wrong veterancy, so it won't go as fast as you might think, but he should beat Axis to the edge of Bravo, even though, you know, in a comparative sense. If they're both playing the same division with the same units, Axis should get in here first. So BBS is going to be able to get rid of the blue player's advantage right off the bat. Then the question is, does he try and fight for Foxtrot? Which I think he has the skill to do, but is certainly going to be an uphill battle. Or does he get up to here and then start squeezing the town, which he really should do, but unfortunately, as we know from the deck review, which you didn't skip, he's not brought the coffin launchers either, so no RM-17, no coffin launchers, no BWP-1 spam. Honkers at the wrong veterancy. I don't know, maybe it's the, he's just basically not been watching enough hippie YouTube videos. That's all there is to it, really. If he watched more of my videos, he'd already know all these things, as you already do, right? Because you've been watching. So let's talk about the deployments. We've got the standard 4th Polish kind of Helo Rush thing. So these things are a little bit overpriced, but the idea is that you buy 4 of them at the start, or 3 in this case, but usually you buy all 4 at the start, and you just send them out because they've got the autocannons and they've also got the Strelas, so the enemy is tempted to send a jet to shoot them down, at which point the Strelas all put together kill the jet. And that's why you want them together, because if you just send one over here, one over here, which is what he's doing, then you will be defeated in detail, because you need to hit the enemy 3 times with the Strelas to kill him. If he's a 10 HP plane, 60% accuracy, right? It's kind of hard to do unless you've got 4 all together. So, deployment. So 3 honkers at the wrong veterancy. One's going up to here. Probably won't make it, but we'll see. I mean, he is still going to be faster than Axis's forward deployment. One to the edge of Bravo. And the third one has not been passed. Great. And then we've got 2 PKT recon helos backed up by 3 Gvoznigs or whatever. Gvizenigs. And so yeah, one's going over to this side, one's going over here, and the third one's going over here. And it looks like he's put change altitude commands on them. Shift queued up change altitude commands. That's a bit temperamental, really. You've just got to pay attention to them. Sometimes they'll get to a position and then they'll automatically go to low altitude, so maybe he's predicting that and he wants it to go high, or it might be the other way around. We'll see. Then we've got an Mi-24D for mid to stop the presumed push on mid. A supply. Paichota SVD, so very strong anti-infantry squad because it's got 2 machine guns and an SVD, which means it's got 4 machine guns basically. Which means that it's got, 8 additional rifles, so about 15 rifles worth of shooty there. Really not a bad unit at anti-infantry. So yeah, one there. Second one also there, and a third one over here on the left. 2 unspeakable ones. We spoke about this in the deck review. I think these are a bad idea compared to the Conkers, particularly. Obviously, you don't know who you're going to come up against, but this can't one-shot Armada, the Conkers can. The Conkers can also one-shot a Leopard 2 on the side armor, and this can't. So he's upvetted them. He's not got very many of them, but they're like almost half the price of the Conkers one, but they are half as good. So one to here to shoot down there, and one to here to presumably shoot over here. Two vet osas, and then with the CV they're now 3 vet, so that's what the supply is for presumably, although he's not got them right next to each other. And the CV for Delta Bravo. On the right we've got 1 helicopter, so he's just assuming nobody's going up there. I mean, whenever I play, I don't bother attacking Charlie. So that's definitely a learning I need to learn to stop doing. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Axis playing 2nd Panzergren. He did tell me it was a different division, but I've already mentioned that 3 times now, so I'll stop bringing it up. So FS Jäger Aufklärer have the 100 kilometers an hour road speed. So they will get there first, but they're only 4 men. So that's the idea there. So one's just going to this building. One is trying to get to Bravo, although this is just a regular FS Jaeger in the 90 kilometers an hour transport, so he's probably not going to make it. I don't watch these games ahead of time, otherwise it'd be boring. But I do like to predict. Sometimes I'm wrong, but we just edit that part out, so I'm always right. Panzer Grenadier to the edge of this town, so that's weird. He's clearly not expecting this FS Jaeger to get here, otherwise that wouldn't be going to there, it'd be going to here, right? Scimitar, if anybody comes down here, and then a Sultan for Alpha. On the right, we've got a forward deployed CV for Echo, and then presumably Foxtrot. Another FS Jaeger Aufklärer trying to secure the side of Foxtrot. Generally, right, if you're on the red side, right, so this guy should be going here, essentially. Because, yeah, if you get a foothold on here, it's a lot easier to push into Foxtrot, because the idea is you worm your way through this forest and poke out and shoot guys in the side. Once you get to here, then the enemy can't reinforce anymore. So, then we've got a Racist, just to give us some vision down here. And then here's the bulk of the push. So, clearly you're playing a very defensive game, thinks the enemy's going to rush into Foxtrot. Got a Jaguar 2, 2 Marder 1A3 Milans, which will not be unloading, 3 Leopard 1A5s, and a Gepard. No supply, but, you know, points are points. And hopefully he's got a fighter, because, I mean, look, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank, as always, the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get the videos early, they get members-exclusive videos at a rate of 1 per week. They buy fighters at the start, they get the names on the screen. I am out of PhD funding, and frankly, my supervisors are giving me a hard time, so basically this is my sole source of income, and then I'm going to be trying to do this full-time once I've finished the PhD, and see what we can make of it. So I do appreciate you all of you, for watching, for liking the videos. You know, it's free, and it makes YouTube recommend it to more people. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video. So Tornado coming in to try and shoot the successfully shoot the recon helo, and the Strela misses. I mean, 60% accuracy. But even if it hit, you'd have to hit him 3 times. Thing is, once you get hit once, you start pissing yourself. So, so he's come back in to get another Gvoznik, and you see how, because all the helicopters are spread out, he's fighting them one at a time. So there you go. He finally gets hit. His Ligmas did very well there. 3 shots, 3 hits, but he was very close. So first minute, he's bought another one. So this is, if you want to do this Gvoznik thing, you want them all. You see that one missed. You want them all near each other, so that when he comes in for one, the other 2, and that one also, shoot him. But he's not done that, so FS Jaeger goes down as you'd expect. Tornado did not manage to kill the Mi-24D, which lands. And yeah, FS Jaeger here did get here before the ROSB, even though he is faster, just a bridge too far there. Iltis trading hands, now it's gone. And yeah, the Tornado could be used. Oh, it's out of bullets. Basically, if this was at max vet, it would have got there before him. So it should have been at max vet. People need to watch more Hippie YouTube videos. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know, you might say, Hippie, you're just shilling because you don't want to get a job. Although I'm not sure what job I'm going to get without a PhD and a 4.5-year gap in my employment records. Oh dear. Oh. Anyway, we'll save the existential crisis for after the YouTube video. Panzer Grenadier got hit, and look at this honker all the way down here. So he could have moved these up to these buildings, you know, but didn't do that. Here comes the Blob. Blob has spotted the ROSB. ROSB is about to not be there anymore. Generally, you'd want some recon with the Blob. A Racist. Here it is. So cluster plane coming in now, and he's going for the infantry. Infantry's dismounted, so he's going for the AA, which is very, very intelligent. The Tornadoes are both down, so AA's probably dead here. Down it goes. Loses a Marder 1A3 Milan as well. The tank survived, which is nice. Surprised they're not going on the honker. Maybe they can't see it. I mean, it does have good stealth, and they don't have any optics. So typically you'd want... Okay, so this is obviously not fantastic, but... No, I noticed he did some noticing there. So, in the meantime, there's nobody in Charlie. You could try sending a Scimitar or a Recon Helo, but you got to make sure you pay attention when it gets there, because it'll probably die, and you want to know what killed it. So, Honker down. The ROSP have Special Forces and an SMG. SMGs are very good at close range, and the Special Forces and the Shock. These guys also have Shock. Shock makes you better at close range. I think this is a new one that's been purchased. He's going for the tanks. I think he'll get both of them. Gets 1.5. There's now a third Leopard 1A5 over here. So CV manages to take Foxtrot there. This one could have been pathed all the way up to here by now, but he's not done that. Recon Helo has spotted that there's nobody here. Axis trying to get a recon unit in just to see what's going on. Scott 2A dies with the man inside apparently. And there's no AA, so the Mi-24D is free to air bully. Gepard's coming in, but they're going to the wrong place. And really, I think if you're red, you want to kind of push over here. Obviously, we can see more than he can, but he's got the recon helo. We could check it out. Look at this WD-40 Jeep coming around here. This will come down this way if he gives it that path thing. Just something to keep in mind. Seed purchased for the OSA. So Axis clearly intent on air spamming. And look at that. He gets an OSA. He misses the other one. But these are 2 vet OSAs. So big kill. It's been switched off now. So yeah, really big kill getting that OSA. Just leaving it on versus 2nd Panzergren. I mean, people tend to just do that. So this is... all its ligaments are missing. The Osa's going to shoot now. He's just sort of... yeah, he's probably dead, actually. He's come right over him there. This is 2 vet. 65%? No. I mean, this has 40% ECM. So you'd expect 1 hit, actually, I think. This survived still. Anyway, this was fast pathed from here, so it just came down this road and died. So he should have given it a regular path or fast pathed it back to here and up to here. So that's not fantastic. Tornado coming out now. He knows there's still an Osa there, but he really wants that helo. So he should peel off this way. He's decided to peel off into the Osa. Osa's now going to get a second shot off on him. And, oh, it misses. Okay, I mean, this has 30% ECM. So this is typically why you have 2 Osas. And that's why he had 2 Osas. So, Jaguar 2 should be winning these battles. The thing is, if the unspeakable one, if the Voldemort ATGM hits the Jaguar survives. This will one-shot 3 armor. This will one-shot 12? 11. This will one-shot 11 armor, which is this. So, yeah, I mean... also, the accuracy on these isn't fantastic. I prefer the Conkers one. Rather than 2 of these, you can get 1 Conkers one, and it is twice as good. So, and because of the availability, it's all good. Axis still on that +1. This thing is absurd against infantry, although he's given it a move order instead of an attack move order. Fliegerfaust is not in position, sadly. He did unload it. If he'd just brought it up to here, he would have got him, or at least shot him. Both clusters back up now. Gepard's back on the field, but no Eyehawks yet. Recon Helo goes down. He's going to go for the Gepard again. The Gepard and the Scimitar, apparently. No Eyehawk. He's relying mainly on his fighters. I think he needs an Eyehawk next, really. He is on the +1, right? And so the Gepard reversing a little bit into that cluster there, but the building does not save him, never mind. And then he thinks it's there. He saw it shooting, like, so he could definitely have updated his targeting there, but okay. Because, yeah, if he had done so, he would have got 4 units. So, yeah, a bit of a shame there. So, yeah, 3 Gepards out, 1 down, so now 2 Gepards. And the planes are surviving, that's the important thing. The planes are surviving, which means they're going to come back. And that's why you need the Eyehawk, because the Gepard's going to do at least 1 damage to the plane. The Eyehawk does 9. 9 + 1 is 10. Quick maths. Most planes have 10 HP. Those bombers do, for example. Something like a Gina jet has like 6. So Eyehawk purchased, up-vetted 152mm howitzers coming out here. But yeah, I think it's sort of a losing proposition for the 4th Polish player to attack the open ground. I think because he's up to here, I think he would have had a much better time getting up to here and then pushing his way into this town. But the way he's built his deck is basically just a bunch of 2-vet T-55s, so I guess he's not enough infantry, so I guess he's forced to play it in the open with that composition. And this is why watching the deck reviews is so important. So Leopard 1 advancing without recon, and then he just sort of decides against it, which is smart because he would have died there. So yeah, this needs to sit around here maybe, I suppose. And here we go. This is what we spoke about. So if you want to take Foxtrot, the way to do it is to own this forest for both sides. Because you own this forest, you get up to here, right? Oh, looks like all your reinforcements are dying. All your reinforcements are dying. Right, and they don't know exactly where you're going to be. Whereas if you're blue, you get up to here, then it's harder for red to just smoke the corner and get in. Otherwise, the red always smokes the corner and gets in. Whereas you're here, you can help to stop that. Right, you can cut the reinforcements. You can kill them before they get into the smoke. That sort of thing. So T-55 does survive. I mean, so this would have killed that, actually. So it's a shame for Axis that it missed. It does have high accuracy, but you know, the unspeakable ones missed before. Another Rosp coming to the left, couple blocking units for Charlie, but Axis has seemingly no intention of attacking there. So he's bought his arty, but he's not fired it. As soon as you buy it, you want it to shoot, because it reloads while moving. So you buy it, shoot. You buy it because there's something to shoot, right? So you buy it, shoot, and then shift Q up to here, and then shift Q another order, and then shift Q up to here. And so it will just slowly move up while firing at the maximum, you know, possible rate, depending on how good your shift queuing is. So I mean, really, he just needs to buy some recon instead of just sort of going forwards and then changing his mind. At least he's changing his mind, otherwise that would be dead as well. These guys only have 14 pen, but that's fine. That's not so bad. Can one-shot SPW-70, even though they've got 2 armor, which would imply 16. They've only got 8 HP, so that's something I learned recently. The unspeakable one missed. And there you go, there's a target. Oh, great! So he's firing now, and it looks like Belarus Border Service. You know, he's stopped the tick. He's building up. Here's his 152mm, which are updated. It's actually not that great a piece, but there you go. I mean, it's enough to kill that, which should have really been out here repairing. But there you go, and then he's got to move it around. It's a south length of 4, but he stopped it as soon as he got that kill there. So unspeakable one on this side, and there you go. So another unspeakable one destroyed. These Voldemort ATGMs, he who shall not be named for risk of demonetization. Sadly, all these, you know, censorship programs, they're not context specific, so we're forced to work around them. So Scimitar's gonna engage. Okay, it's gonna smoke. So wow. I mean, that was a long time before it... yeah, if you smoke too late, you die. But it kind of looked like that was enough time. I don't know. Anyway, they've got 3 armor, so they get one shot by these. So yeah, I think if you're blue in this position, you want to try and get a unit back all the way over to here, just to annoy the hell out of people. And, you know, get up into here. I think if you're red, I think he's barking up the wrong tree trying to attack over here. But because of the way he's built his deck, he doesn't actually have that much infantry, and he doesn't have that much anti-town stuff. He does have 2 cards of sappers, but in terms of all the other good stuff, RM70, coffin launchers, doesn't have any of it. So he's forced to fight in the open with T55As, which... and, you know, unspeakable 180 GMs. He doesn't even have the Conquer's ATGM carriers, so... it's not great. It's a bit of an uphill struggle. He is making progress, though. I'm surprised this is all the way back here. It could move up. Jäger Aufklärer gets sappered to death, I guess. Wow, I mean, it didn't even shoot. And the seed was brought, and it just immediately gets routed because of the suppress on miss of the 2 Osas there. Now he's going to target the Osas. Oh, okay. I figured he'd go for the Osas. And I guess so did Belarus Border Service because he moved them. So against high-level players, that's what the seed's about, really. You just do it so that you can spot stuff. Having 2 tornadoes out at once is not great, because the tornado will run out of fuel, and then you'll have both of them down at once, and then the enemy planes will come and kill you. There you go, another Voldemort gets Avada Kedavrid, as they say in Minecraft. So, Panzer Grenadier against Saperzi. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's the DMRs, they do so much suppression. So Saperzi should be winning. They should just come over here and satchel him to death. Got more HP, cost a lot more, but it's the DMR. It does so much suppression that they're already at low suppression. Also, he was moving, which meant his PKM couldn't shoot. He does have AT, so I don't. This isn't very smart, basically. It's just sappers. Everybody thinks no AT, but the advantage of the Polish ones is that they do actually have AT. So, so he gets stunned up anyway. It looks like he was moving there, so he's going to go down. Axis winning the trades, and yeah, so is that the second RT piece? It is. In the meantime, you know, this Sultan sat around not doing anything. It should be with the RT. It upvets it, makes it shoot faster, and then you put them together. So yeah, if it's not doing anything, it should be with your RT. And if like this guy should be next to the Eyehawk, near the Eyehawk, not on top of him, because then it'll upvet the Eyehawk. Right, so your first priority for CV should be capturing zones, right? Your second one should be artillery, and your third one should be AA. So here we go, seed back out again, and he's waiting for... There you go, he wants the Osas to shoot the seed, and now he's going to bomb the Osas. And they don't move in time, and he gets one there. So great play from Axis, suppressing the enemy air defense. And if this hadn't been hit, it would have curled back around and hit the other one, right? So that's how it's done, basically. You use one plane to soak the rounds, and then another plane to kill the AA before it can move. Gepard just sat around, gets spotted by the ROSB, which does have... Oh, okay, I thought it had ground surveillance radar. Wrong div, 20th Polish gets a ground surveillance radar one. It's a weird design decision in this game that all the armoured divs get the infantry ground surveillance radar, and the infantry divs don't get it. As like a general rule, right? I mean, LRS used to be in 3rd Armoured, now it's not, but if you think Fernschbeer on 5th Panzer, ground surveillance radar infantry. 2nd Panzergrenadier doesn't get it. SAS Patrol, 1st UK, ground surveillance radar infantry. 2nd UK doesn't get that. They get SAS, but they don't have ground surveillance radar. Yeah, it is weird. This division, right, the 4th Polish square doesn't get ground surveillance radar. 20th Polish does. But you would think that the infantry should have the ground surveillance radar stuff because they are the infantry divisions. Whereas the armoured guys tend to have, you know, exceptional optics vehicles. So Tornado's just sort of chilling out. Oh, they're going for the... I don't think that's a good idea, really. But they get away with it seems. And then, yeah, okay, that's why they did it. So, so this has come in to kill the Osa. So there goes the Osa. Clips this on its way past. That's a great part about having Ligmas. So what he should do now... Okay, what I said, what he could have done is come and shoot this, because it's routed, it's actually stood up. But I saw all these planes back here, so it was no longer a good idea. But yeah, you know, why isn't this next to that? Or just up there a bit, bro. Here we go, someone's next to it now. And the way you do this, right, Shift F, click on that. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore, because it'll always follow it around. And then you should always be Shift queuing these. So Shift, click, F, click. And it will shoot and move, shoot and move, shoot and move. Basically immune to counter battery. There you go, he gets 2 more Voldemorts. 2 more Voldemorts go down there. And the Polish artillery just isn't as good. He's not got the RM-70, he's just got these Toad things. Oh, he gets a Jaguar too, though. That's a big kill. And he also gets a Racist, although I believe that was taken out by Voldemort. So here we go. Mass airwave coming in now to overwhelm enemy AA. IHawk misses. IHawk misses. There are 2 IHawks. Where are the Gepards? So there you go. Ah, yeah, perfect. IHawk hits 9 damage. Gepard hits 1 damage. 9 plus 1 is 10. Quick maps. Oh, I'm so right all the time. Anyway, he sold the transports for this one, which is really not great. And so now he needs to move these immediately, because presumably... Yes, exactly. In the meantime, there is an infantry fight happening here. The T-55As are decent in forests. The thing is that if you put an FS Jaeger in here, the Panzerfaust 3, he's not done that, but Panzerfaust 3 would clean them up quite fast. But yeah, you fire enough of these, you know, they've got high suppression now. All infantry AT is for quite some time now has had high suppression. IHawk didn't move after shooting. IHawk's probably not going to make it. Down it goes. So yeah, you've always got to move him. In the meantime, he's going for the arty, but there's 3 more Osas here. He's not alive. He is the opposite of alive in Minecraft. So that was very, very funny. Say hello to my little friend. So yeah, it's unsurprising that he would buy more AA, but when he was here a minute ago, Axis was flying over this a minute ago, there was no AA. So I can understand him taking the risk, but he shouldn't have done that. He should have appreciated that, yes, he's going to buy more AA. So he almost got that, but instead he loses one of his 2 AT planes, which are very important to him. And, okay, so now Belarus Border Service is coming for Alpha. So he's got some infantry set up. He's trying to hide them a bit, but this can see down the road. So he clearly knows he's building up. So these are going this way. Okay. And what is Axis's response? Okay, I guess he just hasn't noticed yet. He's buying a replacement IHawk with the auto cell on, so the transport's going to go again. He still hasn't moved this one, but thankfully Belarus has forgotten about it. He is there we go. He's aiming for the right building now. So yeah, it looks like Belarus is going to come in here. So this is kind of what I was saying from the start, but The way he built his div was a bit weird, to tell you the truth. But he still has the advantage in the town. So there you go, artillery trying to hit the guys in the transports, which is pretty funny. They do a little bit of stunning, a little bit of damage, but not on the infantry itself, just on the transports. So, oh, no, never mind. And there's the artillery for that FS Jaeger who's already moved. In the meantime, the Panzer Grenadiers have beaten the Paichota, which is pretty funny. Just due to superior numbers, because the Paichota also have a DI bars, so they should win that fight, definitely. Very exciting. And yeah, just sort of chilling out. Here we go, artillery, because he didn't move it. He didn't move it. Oh, no! Oh, if only he'd fired more bullets, that'd be dead, but he cancelled it, or it ran out, because, you know, the salvo and so on. So Panzer Grenadier get a transport there. These they've got 2 front armor, and this has 14 pen. And yeah, there's that HE from before. But the thing is, they have 8 HP. If they had 10, they'd survive that, but they don't. And there you go. So there's two Sapezi, Storm, or Z, whatever. These are the really good ones because they've got the Reese, which is like the RPO but better. Losing them in the transports is really not great. So yeah, I like this from Belarus, having a T-55 here. Generally, you want to set all this up before you attack here. Get a couple guys in here and then attack here, because then the reinforcements come in and you kill them. So here's an attempt, but it's only a Scott 2A, right? He could have sent this down. So that's going to go down now. And the Leopard 1 gets beaten out by the T-55, which at this range you'd expect, really, because it's just got way more armor, and it's a 2 vet. But yeah, the accuracy is less, and that happens there. And the MiG-23 MFs go down to double tornado, which you'd expect, really. Seed sent out, but the OSAs are switched off while moving. They've been switched off while moving. 152mm. Oh, they get a supply truck. They almost get a Leopard 1. Oh, nah, they almost got a Leopard 1. In the meantime, more sappers. Remember, he's got 2 cards of sappers from the deck review. Here's the mortar for smoke. And just more, I mean... It's the 3rd time that's happened. T-55A just decided to keep chilling out and got shot in the side. I mean, it didn't have recon or anything. You'd want to leave it here, really. So this Leopard 1 has claimed a lot of kills, Mr. Baumgartner. He's actually been up-vetted. This is 1 vet, and this is 2 vet. So, yeah, just as kind of crossed wires there. The order of operations wasn't great. These aren't in forests either, so okay, he's noticed. These haven't been moved, so this should just immediately... No, he's going for the smoke. What? Has he got return fire? No, he's just shooting his own guys. Well, what can I say? Average 2nd Panzergren moment. I've been trying to tell people about this. You play too much meta, it just rots your brain. If you play a bad div and you make a mistake, you just lose. Whereas if you play a cracked div and you make a mistake, you don't lose. But, I mean, look, this is really not great. He just keeps losing guys in the transports. You can't afford to be doing that. Anyway, Axis killed his own unit, and now Belarus has walked in. So, who's winning this situation? In my mind, nobody. So Sapezi trying to get in range. Remember that the PKMs don't shoot on the move, but neither do the MG3s. But you see... So Axis should probably stop now and fight, or run away with this one, because he's going to get satcheled. He's the most important one as well. Instead, he sent up a Lux, which will die in 1 hit to the Komars, because there's a bug with 12 AP launchers, which makes them one-shot 2 armor vehicles, even though they shouldn't. But looks like Belarus surrenders there, so that's a shame. I wanted to see that Lux die. So yeah, pretty convincing game there. Axis plays a lot of 2nd Panzergren, rank 32. Belarus Border Service plays a lot of Warno, rank 16. 2,460 games total. 1,195 total. So, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who artilleries his own Panzer Grenadiers and gets away with it. So, hope you enjoyed that game. I'll see you in the next one. Please do like the video. It's free. And have a lovely day.